What's up, guys? Welcome back. Fantasy Endgame. We're here to draft. That's it. Plain and simple. You know, we're here every week, multiple times per week. And apparently tonight is zero running back, no questions asked. Now, of course, you don't actually have to do that. Chris is going zero RB. I will say, though, look, we've done several of these already, and you haven't gone zero RB in all of them. You did anchor RB a couple times. I think there was once you actually went 2 running backs in the first 5 rounds. So, it's not like you're that predictable or anything.
Yeah, you got to take what the draft gives you. But tonight I will go zero RB, and I'll go true zero RB, which means no running backs until round 7 or 8. What do you think? Should I wait till round 8, or can I take a running back in round 7?
Maybe later. I mean, we'll see how literally everyone takes this title. Because if everyone decides to go zero RB, you might see guys like Dalvin Cook and are available in round 7 anyways. The way these drafts have been going, but maybe a guy like Nick Chubb falls to you in round 7. Who knows?
We'll see. All right. Well, we ready? Should we get people in here?
Let's do it. We got a queue lined up. All right, guys. If you've been itching to get in, here's your chance. Link is going live
right now.
Let's see if we can break our record.
We should time this one day. One day we got to time this.
And 2 left. There we go. And
there it is.
I think that was about 10 seconds.
Yeah, about 10 seconds. We'll have to time it. We'll have to time it next time.
I took the liberty, and it was nice. Usually, you let me get first pick of where slot I'm going to pick in. You had picked, so I decided to take the liberty of sniping you. So I purposely did that because we're doing zero RB. He got 11, I got 10. But as I explained before we got on here, it really doesn't matter because I could snipe him on the first pick, and then he just snipes me on the way back, which he will definitely do. So
definitely will do. All right. We ready?
All right, let's do it. Hey, look, I have not been gone that long. I know everyone's saying
the return of Pierre. Also, I noticed Stinger's got the Mooney picture. Not on YouTube. He's got the Odell, but in the sleeper, he's got Mooney.
That's right. The Mooney. See, he's got to get a bunch of Mooney this year because Mooney actually is a good bounce back candidate this year,
and he's a great value.
Yeah, well, exactly. Last year it was. It should have been a solid value, but you still had to get him in the middle rounds. Now you can get him wherever for free.
It's gonna be funny when nobody drafts a running back, and then I'm forced to take a running back.
I mean, look, if CMC is staring at me at the 10th pick, I will take him. If JT is there in the 2nd round, I'll take him.
I mean, I can always change the title and the thumbnail after the draft.
No, I want to see. I'm curious, and we'll see. So far, look. Okay, right, there's running back. 5 receivers. Diggs going 5th. That's not. I mean, it's not a. I don't want to say it's a reach, but that's definitely probably his highest.
I think I've taken him there a couple, maybe 5 or 6. Yeah.
I'm reading today that he's talking about. Well, not talking, but throwing stuff out there. He wants to get traded. He wants to go to Dallas to play with his brother, and he's starting taking to social media.
Really?
Yeah, that was just today. Okay. I'm gonna do it. Here you go.
Oh man. I thought geez, going 0 RB from the 11 in this draft is not going to be fun.
This is to see if you take the bait, if you actually commit.
I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4. We got eight wide receivers. This is.
You have the number 1 running back from fantasy a year ago is just out there.
I know, right? But I got to do it. Jeez. This is gross. I should have picked that 2 or something. All right. I don't even know who to go here.
Wow. Uh, did Sleeper? They must have removed those sound effects because that would have been a wow for you for sure. I mean,
the problem is with all the wide receivers that are on the board, it's like there's absolutely no way you should be going wide receiver there. There's no way. There's just no way. You're taking like the wide receiver 10 over the running back 3. It's ridiculous. But said I'm going 0 RB, so let's do it.
I mean, I'll wait to speak on it until our turns have passed, but let's see what happens here. We got okay. There's Eckler. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say I'm surprised you didn't get Kelsey first.
To be honest, I didn't even think about that. Kelsey should have been the pick there over the wide receiver. Should have gotten Kelsey for sure. Totally spaced on that. I guess this wide receiver. Gosh dang. I already hate this draft. Already hate this draft. Zero RB from the 11 in an endgame mock is not optimal strategy. That's for sure.
So here I'm legit torn. Not forget the strategy or whatever. You're not gonna ever go into a draft saying I'm doing this or doing that. But Derrick Henry is a definite consideration. But I've had Derrick Henry quite a bit, and I've got him a lot later in other drafts, like end of second round. So I'm gonna try on T. Higgins as my number 2 receiver.
Wow.
See how that goes.
I guess everybody's going 0 RB tonight. Should have done the opposite. Voodoo Donut, really? I did not like Voodoo Donut.
What? How can you not like Voodoo Donut?
It's just, oh man, I got through half of a donut. I was like, I can't eat any more of this donut. It's like,
it was too good. It was too much goodness at once.
Oh, what was better? Well, we had the Voodoo in Portland, but what was better was Blue Star. It was way better. Way better.
All right. Well, I haven't had that, but yeah. I like the Voodoo Donut. Had the maple bacon one.
Yeah, and even oh geez, it's like.
But
I have a huge sweet tooth, but the thing about Voodoo, it's do you want some donut with your frosting? It's would you like any donut with your frosting? You know what it is? It's like an end game draft. It's would you like any running backs with your wide receivers, or do you just want all wide receivers? It's like the end game drafts. It's I mean, I felt like I was just spooning maple frosting out of the thing, and with a little bit of donut mixed in. So it's geez, a little too much.
But isn't that the purpose of some people say that with Krispy Kreme, the glaze? Oh, it's too much glaze. Well, that's the point of a glazed donut. You don't eat it just to have the dough. It's not about the dough or the hole. It's about what's on top of it. It's just a vessel.
I disagree. I think it's about the dough. The dough. That's the other thing. Their dough is so I don't know. Yeah, I do like Krispy Kreme, especially when they're fresh and they just melt in your mouth. But man, one or even 2 Krispy Kreme donuts, and I'm already okay, that's too much. It's just too much sugar, even for me.
I don't anymore, but back in the day, I could put down a dozen of Krispy Kreme in one sitting, about 10 minutes, I'd say.
Wow.
What is that? Paxio?
I mean, I do love donuts. I could eat donuts every single day.
Yeah.
Why are you commenting in the chat, by the way?
I don't know. I don't know. Do people want to see this? I guess we could. We'll put this on. Pack
Yeah, he talked about this last week. I don't know. I've never heard of it. Must be an East Coast thing.
I will say though, I'm not in the place right now, which is like, you know, a haven for that type of food. I'm sure where it's colder weather and you know, like Northwest, it's probably better, you know, because Texas is not the best for as far as donuts. There's really not that many different places. There's some popping up, but it's not known for that.
Man, did we just get Bijan Robinson in the 3rd round?
0 RB draft. That's what happens.
I mean,
so
we're taking
Ridley before Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, Ridley, Pittman, Cooper, before Bijan. I don't know. Even Debo. I don't even think I'm going Debo over Bijan.
Debo maybe, but Pittman, Ridley, Olave. No, I'm not taking those guys before.
Yeah,
Bijan or Cooper. Probably not even Cooper.
No, not Cooper. I think people think they have to go 0 RB because of the thumbnail or the title or something.
Well, but really, we only have. Half of the teams here have already taken a running back, so maybe half will commit. So okay, so we got 3 who look committed to the strategy, and if you include us and Stinger, you know, Stinger's dedicated, so it'll be half and half.
Yeah, well, my running backs are going to be pretty grim.
And I like how Nate is just being defiant and refusing to draft a wide receiver. He saw the thumbnail. He's like, I'm going to draft just running backs. And then
I mean, but like when you can get JT, Saquon, like why not?
Well, yeah. I mean, Saquon at the 2.5. Yeah. All right. So here's where I have to decide how committed I am. Although, you know what? It's not really. I think the with Najee gone there, I think the really top 2 tiers of running backs are pretty much gone. I don't feel like there's a great value right now.
There's a massive value.
Is there someone who's hidden and I don't see it? But
yes, there is.
I'm gonna leave it out there and tempt you once again.
I'm not gonna do it, but it should be he should be the pick. Ah, jeez.
And take your boy before you take him.
No, it's just like there's a running back here that has to be drafted. Has to be. It has to be. Over Hurts, over Mahomes, over all these guys.
The pick is yours.
All right. Oh, well. I mean, come on. Come on.
All right.
I can't do it. This is ridiculous. Like we're taking Chris Godwin, DeAndre Hopkins, Mike Williams, Najee, Ridley, Pittman, Debo over Kenneth Walker. Okay, I'm going to take one running back. Not full 0 RB, I guess.
There you go. Anchor's fine. I mean, look, I don't get, though. He's ranked, 18 at running back in Sleeper?
Yeah, he's buried for some reason. I'm going to have to change this thumbnail to almost.
Just put a question mark. 0 running back?
Yeah. I'll just add a question mark. I actually do like Najee this year, but I like Walker more. But we do have a running back video coming out where I do talk about Najee. I do like Najee, but I mean over Walker, no.
No, not over Walker.
There is. It's called Anchor RB. I think we talked about it a lot last year. Anchor RB, where you draft like one early running back to kind of anchor your team.
Yeah, Anchor RB was pretty much my go-to last year. It's where you take a running back in either round 1 or 2. You know that you're getting a top 10 running back, a guy who you think will be able to carry the load, and you really don't worry about your RB2. You know, 0 RB, you're like, whatever, I'll just mix and match the whole position and just go for value. Anchor RB is like, look, I want that one guy who's a stud.
Yeah.
And look, if you took Austin Eckler or Derrick Henry in the first couple of rounds last year, that strategy was brilliant. If you took Jonathan Taylor, you know, not so much. That's the problem.
I've got like, if this is a dynasty team, I'd be feeling great.
I also see right here there's a running back I feel should be drafted. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Because these wide receivers now are all like, I think I can wait. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So don't let it be said that we just go blindly into a draft and just say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Like,
Well,
no,
see, that's the problem with making the title and the thumbnail that way, because I think we have some people who decided to jump along with us, which is fine. Because I was gonna just go 0 RB blindly 0 RB, but when Kenneth Walker is there at the 3, basically the end of the 3rd, I can't do it.
We're here to educate, right? And so let this be a lesson that you don't just go into a draft and have some preconceived strategy and just do whatever you think is gonna work. I mean, I don't know. I was between like Ramondre. I feel like it was a good value there. And do I love, like, I was thinking between Keenan Allen, Terry McLaurin. I don't even know who. Drake London might have been my pick.
Yeah, but those guys, like,
it's a little early. I feel it's a little early.
Yeah, I just feel like I don't feel like they're in like this, like, difference making. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, I don't feel like they're in this like difference making like tier. Like, I feel like there's a bunch of wide receivers similar. Ooh, thank you.
Yeah, I feel like I could wait and come back and there'll be a guy who I'm not going to name because he'll get taken. There'll be a receiver who's just basically is comparable. London or Keenan Allen, those are the guys I was considering, and of course there goes London because I spoke his name. But I'll take the running back.
Yeah. Is Bijan a round 1 or round 2 pick? Would he come before Jonathan Taylor?
Not round 1. It's too early. Like, let's not get too carried away. I mean, we think he's going to be a stud. We still don't have a guarantee he's going to be a stud, and we don't know where he's going to play yet. So I'm not taking him round 1, and you don't need to take him round 1. That's the thing. You don't need to. He should be available at least early to mid round 2, and I wouldn't take him before Taylor.
Yeah, I wouldn't take him before JT either. Don't want to spoil it, but we have a video coming out probably this weekend. Running backs. You'll see where we have him ranked. Exactly. But I don't want to spoil it. So
that's right. You'll see exactly where we have him.
Now, this is an interesting one. What about Dynasty? Where do we rank Bijan among running backs?
Well, you know what? Actually, do need to update my Dynasty rankings. Although nothing has really changed, has it? I mean, there's really no compelling reason to make a lot of changes in Dynasty before the draft. I'm not going to put him number 1 because that's again getting carried away. So if I have to think, like, would I put Bijan over Austin Eckler? Yeah, because of the age. Would I put him over CMC? Yeah, because of the age and all the carries, and obviously CMC injury risk. I don't know if I have him over JT. I probably have JT ahead of him. If it wasn't for the injury, I don't know that I would have Breece Hall behind him, but I think you probably put Breece Hall behind him.
Yeah. That I think is my order. JT, Bijan. 1, 2.
Barkley is the only one that is, I'm not sure. But again, because of age, you probably should prefer Bijan right now.
Yeah. And honestly, if Bijan lands somewhere really good, I might put him over JT. Just because you're getting, not that JT's old. I mean, he's going to be, I think 24 this year. But Bijan is 21.
Right.
I guess it'll be 22. So you're getting like a 2-year age discount, which at running back is huge because we know running backs, they don't last a long time, most of them. So, Yeah, for me, he's number 2 right now.
I mean, it's going to matter for a guy like that a lot. The landing spot, if he goes to a team, again, just hypothetically, if he goes to a team like Philadelphia, that's good. But is it really the best spot for him when you have a quarterback who also runs the ball a ton and they don't really dump it off as much as you'd like to a running back because they don't need to?
Yeah, but I don't see him going to Philly. That's the thing. I know a lot of people like to say Philly, but I just don't see Philly taking a running back.
No, I don't think he'll wind up there, but a lot of people want him to land. I don't think that's the perfect landing spot for him, like a lot of people do.
No. So then, if we were in a Superflex Dynasty startup and the rookie picks were available, where are we taking, like, where would we draft the 1.01? Basically, where would we draft Bijan Robinson?
All right, well, let me see, because I'm up now and you're next.
Well, I mean, in a Dynasty Superflex startup, I'm probably not drafting the 1.01 because I tend to not, like, I don't like really building my Dynasty teams around running backs, even though Bijan is young and all that. But like we saw with Breece Hall last year or Javonte, doesn't matter. And it's probably, I mean, I'm guessing the 101 in a Superflex startup is probably going to be a first round pick. I guess.
All right. Feels weird for the second draft in a row. I'm taking Swift, but I feel like it's probably better value than any receiver that's out there. That's, of course, that's the other guy I was debating between him. I feel like I've gotten too much. I don't know.
They're mock drafts.
Okay, so what's the question here?
So where in a Superflex Dynasty, in a Dynasty Superflex startup, where are you taking the 1.01? If it's got rookie picks, which a lot of startups do this time of year, right? They include the rookie picks. Where would you draft the 1.01 in a Superflex Dynasty startup?
Superflex Dynasty startup. Man, I mean, I do feel like you don't have to look at quarterback first and foremost, but that's probably the best idea. Okay, well, hold on, back up again. Man, I think we've officially hit the wide receiver dead zone.
Yes. Well, when we've had 30 of them, 40 of them drafted already.
I feel like this is.
I'm taking CD over Bijan. I mean, we're talking about a 24-year-old wide receiver who is elite, and we've seen elite wide receivers can still be elite 30 years old, 31 years old. The chances of Bijan still being elite at that age are very, very slim. So I'm taking CD over Bijan in Dynasty.
Stud.
And in redraft, but yeah.
Again, you don't want to blindly say this always, but stud receiver over stud running back almost always. And CD is not, as old as a guy like, Diggs or something like that. Not that Diggs is ancient, but still, he's younger. Yeah, definitely Lamb. And then this is, I think, an easy one too. Derrick Henry or Saquon.
I mean, we're talking Dynasty. If we're talking Dynasty, definitely Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
I know Derrick Henry somehow keeps chugging along, but I mean, it's not going to last forever. Even Adrian Peterson started being not as good at some point. You're getting I think a 3-year age discount with Saquon, plus all the pass catching that Henry doesn't give you. Got to be Saquon.
And even in redraft, it's close. It's really close. It's kind of a coin flip, but I would still go Saquon.
Yeah, I still go Saquon in redraft, but it's definitely closer in redraft because you only need Derrick Henry to be good this year in redraft.
Right.
Whereas in Dynasty, if something happens this year, whether maybe they trade him because it looks like the Titans are in full start over mode. So maybe they try to trade him and save cap space, and maybe he goes to a situation where they don't run him into the ground anymore, right? He goes to a team that throws the ball more, which is most teams. Or maybe he just, I mean, we saw last year, he had some nice moments, he had some nice runs, but he also had some games where it was like 2 yards a carry, 2.5 yards per carry, you know, and it's like, maybe the touchdowns dry up or whatever it could be. His value could go way down after this year, like to the point where it's like you can't get rid of him because he's going to be 30 years old, and people are like, nope, he's done. I don't want him, and you're just stuck with him. Whereas Saquon, even if Saquon has a down year, people will still buy into the fact that he's still 20. You know, he's still 27. He's still an elite talent. They'll still buy into that.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's always better to sell too soon than to wait too late. Because even if like last year, like, oh, you said, you know, this is the time to sell Derrick Henry. All right, yeah, he was great last year. But when the time comes, if you still have him, you're going to wish that you did trade him before that happens. Of course, we don't know when that's going to be. But would you rather have sold too soon? And what did you get for him? You still probably got a lot, like something really good. Or wait till it's too late and get absolutely nothing. Mm-hmm. So, you know, you always want to sell too soon as opposed to too late.
Well, as somebody who traded for Derrick Henry in a Dynasty League, trying to make that championship run, and then didn't even get Derrick Henry in the championship, I definitely regret that trade. Because I didn't even get him. It's like, wait, it's week 17 and you're going to rest Derrick Henry. And now, like, I traded for this old running back who may not have any value next year. And he wasn't even there for me in week 17.
And so here's the question is, what do you do with him now heading into this year? Do you just hold and just hopefully you get something out of him, or are you still trying to sell?
I'm trying to sell because I think there's people who still believe Derrick Henry is elite, and he's just one of those guys that's gonna like, and he is one of those guys, right? He's one of those outliers who's, you know, still very productive at an older age. He's big, he can handle the workload. But I'd rather, like you said, I'd rather trade him now to somebody who still believes he has a couple more elite years in him, get a pretty good return. I mean, you're not going to get, you know, anything crazy for him, but get a pretty good return for him. And look, if he has 2 more elite years, oh well. But if you can get a good return for him, like if you can get a younger wide receiver and a pick or something like that, that younger wide receiver could be productive for much longer, and that pick could turn into something. So that's what I'd be looking to do with Derrick Henry. That's what I will be trying to do with Derrick Henry this year.
You know, you got to wonder how much longer. My guess is not past this year. Can the Titans just keep going with that same system, that same offense? Let's just keep it on the ground and hope the defense is good enough to win it, because their defense isn't good enough to win it. It's good enough to keep them competitive and to be a fringe playoff team. But until they get a quarterback who really can take them to the next level, that's all they're going to be, right? They're just kind of treading water. And I think they've got to figure out that Derrick Henry isn't going to last forever. So I feel like this is like the window. Not for him personally necessarily as a player, but for that offense. And so maybe he just doesn't see 30 touches a game beyond this year.
Yeah, and that's why I said, or maybe they even trade him, because, I mean, they're trying to cut cap space. There's talks that they might cut Ryan Tannehill. Like they just might be going in a different direction now. And are you going to pay? I think Derrick Henry's owed $11 million this year or something. You're going to pay Derrick Henry $11 million for a team that isn't going to compete, or you just try to trade him to an NFL team who, you know, still values him, because he was still good. He was still good last year. So,
oh yeah,
I think there are still people, even in good leagues. I mean, you're not going to get the same value for Derrick Henry that you would have gotten like 2 or 3 years ago, of course. But there's still, you could get something decent for him. Or if you really want to gamble, you can always just wait. And when it's getting close to the fantasy playoffs, and that team that's trying to make a run like I was last year, is like, I need a running back. Dangle that Derrick Henry carrot. See what they're willing to give up to try to make a run.
Exactly.
Oh, I was thinking about him.
And it always happens. Of course, this will change, as 2 months from now. But those rookies, if you forget about them, if you don't filter, look for them, just forget that they're out there.
Well, I guess I should go one more round here. He's still out here. Let's just go super young. Let's just go with this young team.
Good pick. I like that. Here's an easy one. If Aaron Rodgers goes to the Jets, is that good for Garrett Wilson?
Yes. I mean, is it not Mike White, Joe Flacco, or Zach Wilson? Then it's probably good for Garrett Wilson, unless it's Baker Mayfield. If it's Baker Mayfield, I will be out on Garrett Wilson. I don't care how good he is. Baker Mayfield is a wide receiver killer.
But I'm pretty sure the Jets, they said they wanted to upgrade a quarterback this year. So
well, that's true. But I saw something where Baker's gone. You're gone.
The Saints, for some reason, seem to be happy with the idea of Baker Mayfield, I guess, because they feel like it's the lateral move from Andy Dalton to Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, where I saw somebody was interested in team that already had a quarterback was interested in bringing in Baker Mayfield as a backup, I think, or something. Where did I see it? I saw it somewhere. Oh, wasn't it the Bucks? Was it the Bucks? They were saying, oh no, that was Drew Lock. I thought I saw something about Baker Mayfield.
I was going to say, for the Bucks, Mayfield could be the starter, but I think they're a little too savvy to go with him. The Saints,
it was the Saints, which would kill Chris Olave. Yeah. I mean, come on, don't do that to Chris Olave, please.
Yeah. The Saints don't really have a quarterback. Alvin Kamara is probably going to be suspended or cut. Let's see what else. They don't have any money to spend on free agency. Yeah, I have a feeling next year the Saints are headed for a 3-win season, and then coach gets fired and they have to start all over. So that's my guess. So poor Chris Olave, but yeah, not big on that offense.
I don't know, but when are we getting that live? When are we getting that live cast iron skillet? When can I join your live cooking show?
What would y'all do without me?
I want to come on and
make some of that cornbread. What else is it?
Pizza.
Mm-hmm. All right. Who actually stuck with 0 RB? Did anybody actually do it?
I mean, it depends how you define 0 RB, but no.
Not really.
Not really. Not true to 0 RB because we got running backs going in the 5th. But looking at my draft, if I had gone Kelsey and then I guess probably Garrett Wilson at that 2-2, I actually wouldn't hate that. Even though it's not 0 RB because I did take Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, but I think that would have been an upgrade.
Yeah. I just totally spaced on Kelsey. I'm just thinking about the wide receivers. I'm like, oh my God, all the wide receivers are gone. I can't even get a good wide receiver at the 11.
Mm-hmm.
When I should have just taken Kelsey. Should have been Kelsey. Should have been the pick.
That's okay. I mean,
man, I hope not. How about how about get some wide receivers in Baltimore?
They've got to. Got to remember, this is going to be a different system, completely different system. They're not going to just rely on running backs and tight ends anymore. I mean, obviously they have to bring in another wide receiver. I'm pretty sure they will, some way or another.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always good to zig when the others are zagging. That's what makes zero RB so effective in most leagues. Is that in most leagues people are terrified to not take a running back in the first or second, first 2 rounds. And so unlike our drafts where you get 10 running backs in the first round, 10 wide receivers in the first round and only 2 running backs, you get 10 running backs in the first round and only 2 wide receivers. So you end up with, 2 top 5 receivers. But yeah, no, there's no way I would have taken. I mean, maybe I would probably go Kelsey there in most. I mean, maybe not though. I'd probably go with a running back there because they're just so good.
That's the thing. When everyone's taking receivers and you can get Austin Eckler at the 12th pick, you do it. You take Austin Eckler and you don't question it.
I mean, zero RB doesn't have to be but the true definition of zero RB that Sean Siegel first wrote about, I think, was no running backs till at least round 7, maybe even round 8. Like you get you get like a QB, a tight end, and then wide. I should have taken Kelsey. I blew that for sure. But I get it. And for most people, waiting until round 5 to take a running back is zero RB for sure. Because I think most people have just been trained like you got to take a running back early. You have to.
Yeah, I don't know. Running back in round 5 to me, that's not zero RB. Zero means you've got every wide receiver spot plus a flex, plus another either tight end or receiver, maybe quarterback. I mean, I think at least round 6, but typically round 7 to be a true zero RB, based on the definition.
That's based on the definition.
Now, you don't have to do that. Like you say, well, it's round 5. I got, 3 stud receivers and I got a quarterback and I want to take a good running back here. That's fine. It doesn't mean that the zero RB drafter is going to beat you, but the purpose of it is to get that better value, and you're taking shots later at running back, and those running backs will supposedly provide a better return on the investment, So instead of taking a Joe Mixon in round 5 or a, Aaron Jones, guys who are good, solid, but not necessarily, an RB1 or a league winner, you just wait and you keep piling up wide receivers and tight ends and, and then the running backs are just whatever. You could take a guy like look, what if AJ Dillon puts up the same type of numbers as Aaron Jones this year? You got AJ Dillon in round 9 instead of Aaron Jones in round 5.
Yeah, he did it for a few games last year, but
at the end of the year, he did, yeah.
Early in the year too. Remember, earlier in the year he was good, and then it was like the middle stretch of the year he just disappeared. Nate's gonna
that wasn't even his fault. It was just
Alvin Kamara in every draft.
Yeah, you can have him. I think. Okay. Well, here
Zeke.
we go. Stinger going with Zeke. All right.
There you go. Cast iron prison chow. I actually made a Kamara in a jumpsuit for a thumbnail. It doesn't have a video yet.
You're just waiting for a chance to use it.
Yes. I don't think I like these rookies enough here.
All right.
I have it. It's made. It looks great. But yeah, I was gonna use it tonight, but I'm like, it's not good enough. Gotta wait till till he's in court or something, right? Till it's really, really trending.
Yeah, it's not time yet. It's not time. You have to wait to unleash it. It's
But
gonna be like
maybe
last
if
year's Zeke turning to dust.
maybe if Cast Iron Skillet does a Alvin Kamara prison chow video, I'll let him have it. Jumpsuit Alvin Kamara. That video is actually I feel, I don't know what the word is, but I feel like it's more likely that Alvin Kamara actually could, like, I feel almost certainly like he's going to get suspended now because of the video. Because he clearly, like, hits the guy multiple times while he's on the ground and probably unconscious. But I don't know who that dude was that was stomping on him. But if that's that cornerback from the Chiefs, I mean, man.
Yeah, I don't see any way. I mean, it was just delayed, right? It's not like they forgot about it or that he's getting out of it. It was just delayed for the same reason every court case gets delayed, but it's going to happen. There's no way nothing happens to him.
Yeah, even if he doesn't face anything criminally, because I don't know, whatever, the criminal system's different, right? They have to prove things. You got to think the league is suspending him for sure. Because there's that view. I don't know if you guys saw it, but there's a view. There's like another view from like the other side, and you clearly see like the guy's laying on the ground and Kamara's like throwing punches while he's on the ground, like multiple punches. So I don't see how he doesn't, at least face a suspension.
Yep. All right. Speaking of foods, we were talking about food earlier. Southern accent foods. Yeah, first couple rounds, everyone was ready to go 0 RB, but nobody committed. Well, not everyone.
I know, even I couldn't commit. Couldn't do it. Kenneth Walker there, couldn't do it. I mean, you're right. They are bad with that, but there's video of it. So,
yeah. This one they can't avoid. There's no way.
Yeah. This one they can't avoid, especially when it goes to trial and they're showing and then the press right now, like the football press is on it, but like the general press isn't really on it. But when they go to trial, and it's more in the public news and the general domain, then the pressure will really be on. Yeah.
Yep.
But yes, the NFL is terrible with that for sure.
Then there's the fact that, like I said, the Saints offense, even if somehow he doesn't get suspended, Saints offense will probably be worse next year if they have Baker Mayfield. And then Kamara hadn't been great last year anyways. So, yeah.
I mean, I have him, and I traded for him too in that Dynasty League trying to make a run. I have him and Derrick Henry on the same Dynasty team. That's brutal. Brutal.
Well, you know what? It's time to start wheeling and dealing. Put some players in the trade block before they get suspended or hurt.
Yeah, there's a chance I could probably trade Derrick Henry. I don't think anybody's taking Alvin Kamara right now, are they? I mean, he was so bad, and he's probably going to get suspended. I'm probably stuck with Alvin Kamara.
So, fair question. What if Kamara is not playing for at least an extended period of time? Doubtful that they roll Mark Ingram corpse back out there or go with who is it, Dwayne Washington or no? They got to sign somebody. There's so many free agent running backs. They'll probably sign someone on the cheap. They could get a Deontay Foreman, somebody like that, Yeah.
They'll sign somebody.
Without committing. Someone serviceable, that could be a starting running back who has been a starting running back, but without having to pay up too much.
Yeah.
My guess. That's my guess. I don't think the Saints have any money.
I'm getting trade offers.
Nice.
third.
I feel like that's selling a little low.
Yeah, I feel like that's a little low. I feel like I'm better off just holding till he comes back from suspension. Yeah, sharks in here, just blood in the water. They're coming after me, coming for me.
Yeah, check your inbox. You're gonna have 10 trade offers.
Yeah, they're all gonna be terrible.
Yeah,
I'll give you Kenny Galladay for Alvin Kamara.
hey, bounce back season. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, what's a bounce back season for Kenny Galladay? 20 catches, 15 catches.
Any catches?
Any catches? Not worth it. Not worth it.
Seafood. Oh yeah, I can't believe. I mean, who doesn't like seafood?
Me. This guy. This guy does not like seafood.
Love me some seafood. All right, let's see. So my favorite rookie running back just got taken. It's okay. Got someone else lined up. All right, Stinger, don't make me hungry. I haven't had dinner yet.
I'm starving. I feel like I'm always starving when we start these things, and every single one we talk about food.
Yeah. So everyone either is about to eat or is just eating.
Yeah. MT, Michael Thomas. What would you do with Michael? I know you don't, but if you somehow had Michael Thomas in Dynasty, would you take anything for him at this point?
Anything. 2027 third round pick. Take it.
2027 third. Wow.
All right, S Dubs. There you go. Faith in Tua. I like it.
Ooh.
Faith in Kamara. Don't like it.
Well, at least Nate didn't have to take Kamara, but he got sniped on Tua.
Yeah, all right. Oh, here we go. Back to me. All right, so I'm gonna take a guy that I guarantee I've not taken and probably will never take, but why not? I wait on tight end instead of taking Njoku again. Try Darren Waller.
Wow.
I feel like it's worth a shot there.
All right, so the guy behind me has a tight end. So because I was thinking about tight end here, but he already has one. He's not gonna take one. These running backs are. Is he still available? All right, I'll gamble on him here.
Very nice. Yeah, this is where you take a shot on a rookie.
I'm not used to you going QB early. It just threw me off that you didn't take Alvin Kamara. I was all thrown off that you didn't take Alvin Kamara. Messed up the whole draft.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there we go. And I talk about Southern food, just in case you weren't. This won't make you hungry. Shrimp and grits, absolutely, definitely. Those cheesy grits.
Oh, cheesy grits are good though,
with shrimp on top.
Yeah. I like Gainwell too. I like Gainwell. I think Gainwell's a good late round dart throw right now.
Yeah, but I really liked Gainwell last year, and then he actually somehow got fewer touches. And Miles Sanders carried the way. Now, if Miles Sanders goes and they don't replace him with somebody, which I would find hard to to see doing, but yeah, I mean, in the late rounds, sure, he's definitely good for depth. Big boy.
All right, I will go tight end. Wait, there's still people that need tight end. Yeah, it needs tight end. There's only one team that needs a tight end, actually. Right?
Yeah, I think so. that's why, at least in these drafts, and probably in real life when it comes time to it, I'm going to wind up with like either. Well, see if you pick first.
Yeah, and I'll wait because I should be able to get one of those tight ends. I'll probably just go with a rookie RB here.
Deuce. All right, like the younger version of Kenneth Gainwell. I'll go with the tank.
I mean, you gotta like him better than CEH. What's CEH's future at this point?
Yeah, I'll take anybody over CEH.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was saying. Now I'm just thinking about shrimp and grits. Oh, there you go. All right, he was just taking. Yeah, I was gonna say something about tight ends. I think in every draft, pretty much this coming year, I'll have one of either Njoku or Cole Kmet as my starter, and I'll be okay with that.
Same with me. I'm fine with either of those guys. We got a lot of Geno. I don't think. Has Geno really been drafted in any of these drafts? Maybe one or two. I don't think people are really on Geno.
A couple times, but usually not.
Yeah.
I mean, if you are waiting on quarterback, you get a guy like, Kirk Cousins, totally serviceable. You take a risk with a guy like Lance or Tua, which has, each have huge upside, but probably bigger risk. Or you play it safe and go Geno. That's the thing, is Geno is just a little, is a little too safe.
Yeah, just a little too. I'm not really on Geno. Is Michael Carter being slept on?
No. Breece Hall's going to play next year.
I mean, even when like everybody was hurt and it was just him and Zonovan Knight.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah.
Okay.
I can pass on Michael Carter.
The best fish is Chilean sea bass. Now, my wife will agree with me. Chilean sea bass. It's a little pricey. Don't eat it too often, but Chilean sea bass. Also go for some snapper, red snapper. When are we having the food draft?
In-game food draft. We just draft like our favorite foods.
Is there a platform? I think we have to do that manually. Like make a spreadsheet. We do a donut draft.
Oh, I'm down for a donut draft.
All right. So we'll just need someone. Talk about who's our tech guy. It's Nate. All right. Make it happen, Nate. Make a spreadsheet or like reverse engineer Sleeper's platform.
Yeah, reverse engineer Sleeper
like donut flavors.
Yeah, that'd be great. How about this? Getting the 4:30 a.m. leg day. Wow, good for you. Good for you.
All right, are we in the last round?
I mean, nobody eats their own.
How can a fish?
I mean, you don't see fish eat another fish. The heck?
Quick thoughts on cod. Solid, but it needs to be sauced up with something like a bacalao. It's a Cuban dish. Good, because it kind of masks the fish, because the fish itself isn't,
If you gotta mask something, it's not good.
It's not fishy, like it tastes bad. It's just there's not much to it, right? It's kind of like a blank canvas. So it's fine, like it's solid, but you need something, to dress it up.
It's like when I first tried Five Guys, that burger place.
Yeah.
It's like, so it's like, yeah, whatever. It's fine. Who are you? It's so good. I'm like, what do you like about it? Oh my God, the toppings. They have these amazing toppings. I'm like, okay, so it's not that the burger is good. It's just you like the toppings. Because the burger itself is very mediocre.
See, this is exactly why I don't work out, because I don't want to increase my appetite. Don't want to overeat. All right, here we go. Stinger with a final pick. We have.
You guys know what I mean. But you don't see cod eating cod. You don't see.
Don't you though?
See, exactly. Spend too much time thinking about football. All right, get my tight end here.
I just realized you went 5 straight running backs.
Yeah, why not? I've got 1, 2, 3. I got 5 wide receivers.
You have more running backs than wide receivers.
Well, you got to when you do this because your running backs aren't very good. Like I feel like between my 5 wide receivers, I should be okay most weeks.
That's funny. All right. Good night. Enough of the food. Anybody who's still on. Not going to rank burger chains right now. We're going to do a quick review. Not grading every team, but best picks, worst picks, reaches, shocks. How does team 2 look? Team 2, Chase, Jacobs, Pittman, Judy, Lamar, Pierce. I feel like it's a little reachy on the receivers.
Team 2, yeah.
I don't mind the roster construction. I think is totally fine. You know, Pittman is okay there. Judy, it's okay there. You know.
Yeah, but I feel like when you got running backs like Bijan and Walker still on the board, I'm not taking like Pittman or Judy. Although, I mean, I guess, Judy was after that, but I'm not taking Pittman.
I mean, it could have turned out, of course, could have, would have, should have. You don't know who's going to be there, but I would have been okay taking Debo in round 2 and then Bijan in round 3. I think I would have liked that a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, I would have taken Bijan in round 2, but that's just me.
Right. All right, let's see. So, Chris, nobody wins 0 RB, truly 0 RB.
Not even me.
Not even you.
Can do it. Too much
value. You like your roster makeup?
What's that?
Do you like your roster?
I do. I like how it turned out. I mean, getting Kenneth Walker in the 3rd. I mean, I don't like starting Garrett Wilson and Monreal St. Brown. I would have liked it better with like Kelsey Wilson or Kelsey St. Brown. But getting Walker in the 3rd, Watson, Hollywood, T-Law, Dotson, and then just stacking up those running backs, hoping 1 or 2 hits. I like it.
I mean, you did definitely go anchor because you only took 1 running back in the first 7 rounds, and you got the typical, which would be perfect, ideal, like 0 RB running backs, guys like Cook and Herbert, Harris, who don't need to be great all season long. They just need the opportunity and have good games here and there and could get a chance to be the guy if things break for them. T-Law's good, Komet good. So you got good upside at wide receiver. Yeah, I think the Kelsey instead of Sun God would have like really cemented. But
yeah, definitely.
I mean, I kind of had a weird mix. Like I didn't go any particular style. I went receiver, quarterback, running back, receiver. So I got Hurts and Brown stacked. So I love that. I got Higgins, Bateman as my 3. It's not ideal. So I'm kind of really putting a lot of my hopes and dreams on DeAndre Swift coming through where I took him, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah.
See? Who's the fish?
Who is the fish?
See? It's like I'm like that guy who controls the stock market. Oh, this company's, oh, man, I'm all in on this company. I'm all in on this company. And then when everybody, I'm like Elon Musk, Dogecoin. And then when it goes up, I sell it. Easy game. All right, guys, 0 RB tonight, no matter what. Oh, Kenneth Walker in the third. Thanks, guys. Easy game. Easy game.
It sort of worked, not really, because some people still went running back, but oh well.
Yeah.
All right, got some requests here. Sam, Team 6 did talk about Team 6 a little bit earlier because did take Keenan Allen after I didn't, and I think that's fine. And did go with Tua, so that's an automatic bump. I think the Chubb, right? You agree with me, not because it's Nick Chubb specifically, but because you already had to start running backs. I think the Chubb pick there just, I don't know, kind of kills it.
I mean, it's great value on Chubb. I can't argue with that, but yeah, I mean, because it's a 3 wide receiver draft, so could be a little could be hurting at wide receiver for sure.
Most likely hurting because you got JSN, who knows, maybe great, maybe bust, who knows, right? We don't know anything about how he's going to do this year as your wide receiver 3. And then you got Kadarius Toney. So very dicey at receiver. Even Hopkins as your number 1 receiver is a little dicey, which would be okay then if on the way back you had somebody who was more solid. But, I mean, I guess you could always trade Nick Chubb. Trade Derrick Henry, right? Trade Henry now. Team 12, great value. You got Eckler and Kelsey at the turn. I mean, that's the way to do it.
This was like the 0 wide receiver draft, right? And then just stack up the wide receivers and hope you can get 3 out of that, which I don't even mind. Like Lockett, Kirk, Mooney, Addison, Rondell Moore. I'll bet you can get 3 wide receivers out of that.
I mean, if you're gonna do it that way, not that it was necessarily intentional, I don't know if it was, but that's the way to do it. Lockett, Kirk, high weekly upside, both of them. Mooney, I don't mind that pick. Addison, I think is really solid. I don't like Rondell Moore. All right, I just don't. But that's just me. Like at that stage, whatever. So yeah, I think I actually like that team for a kind of 0 wide receiver team. I like it a lot. And other John, do we have a first John? Okay, got Jefferson, Etienne, Debo, Dobbins, Fields. I know you like Dobbins this year, but too early for Dobbins? He probably wouldn't have made it back to him, to be fair.
Yeah, he probably isn't going to make it back. No, I don't think so. The problem is in a draft like this, as you see, so many wide receivers went early that I probably don't like the Algier pick, honestly, because not that I don't like Algier, but you've already got Etienne and Dobbins. I mean, now you're, Burks, Myers, Claypool, Dobbs, Mechie. I mean, you might really be hurting at that wide receiver 3 slot pretty badly. So,
because if it's 3 receivers you're starting and then you're going to flex, you really want to flex Algier each and every week, I would have taken either a shot on a guy like Jameson Williams or one of those rookie receivers who could be solid. Like Jordan Addison should be a pretty solid weekly start, right? As a slot guy, somebody who should get a lot of volume based wherever he goes. Yeah, I think that would have been probably a little bit better. Like maybe you can think Jacoby Myers can fill that role. We don't know where he's going to play next year. I mean, if he goes to Houston, are you really going to want to start Jacoby Myers every single week? Yeah. So, yeah, I agree with that. I think either you don't take Dobbins there and you take a receiver like McLaurin or Keenan Allen, or you take Dobbins and then you don't take Algier there and you get a receiver. And that was the other John. All right, team 3, feeling meh. You think it's meh?
I mean,
I think it's too early for Ridley.
I'm not like, I get it. You're probably trying to go 0 RB. I get it, but there's no way I'm taking Cooper and Ridley over guys like Bijan, Kenneth Walker, Josh Jacobs, Travis Etienne. I'd rather just draft one of those. You don't have to draft both of them, but like if you could have gotten Bijan at the 210, definitely too early for Ridley there. I'm not quite that high on Ridley. Then I think it's okay. And then you wouldn't have to go like Mixon, Cook, and Sanders. You could maybe grab another wide receiver there. I think it would have turned out better. But I don't know. Maybe it's trying to go 0 RB.
Which is fine at that spot. You got Coop to start, and then I'm fine taking a receiver, over those guys. I mean, Bijan, yeah, you probably don't want to pass on, especially in round 3. But to me, it was more so like I'm just not that high on Ridley. I would have taken probably any of those other receivers instead of him, like Williams, Godwin, maybe Watson. So that's the thing. And that's just because of the way our rosters are, right? We're starting 3 receivers and you have a flex. Full PPR, you should be wanting to flex a receiver pretty much. Is weight on QB still an effective thing? We actually talked about this at length in one of our earliest offseason videos.
I don't think so. I mean, yeah, I don't. And
I mean, you
QBs
can, but you're
go later.
Dice.
Yeah, QBs actually go later in our mock drafts than they go in like typical drafts. I think we're going to see QBs go even earlier in most drafts this year. So you're going to really, I think if you wait, you're going to really be stuck with you're going to have to be streaming and hope for the best.
Yeah, if you look, we have one we put out. I don't think the Super Bowl hadn't even been played yet. Mistakes from last fantasy football season that we're not going to make this coming season. Waiting on quarterback, it sounded like a great strategy. It was a great strategy for a few years. It's not anymore. Yeah. Things have changed. Things have changed. I mean, I mentioned this earlier. Trey Lance. You want to start Trey Lance? Do we even know Trey Lance is going to be a starter this year? Okay, fine. You say, well, Derek Carr. Even if Derek Carr plays in New Orleans or Tennessee or wherever, is he going to help you win a fantasy championship? With his 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, and then the next 2 weeks he throws for 199 yards and no touchdowns.
Yeah.
No. Tua, I love Tua more than anyone. I'm not drafting him because I don't want to be looking for a starting quarterback, potentially mid-season because he had to retire early. Kirk Cousins was good, but I don't know that I want to count on him each and every week. So I'm probably not going to wait on quarterback, and I haven't been.
Yeah. I actually got to get going, so I'll let you finish up.
All right. Well, we're done. I think we reviewed almost every team. Burrow at the 4-6. I think that's fine. Yeah. I'm fine with that, especially this year. You got a guy you can count on. You're good.
Stinger's asking about his team. We'll do that quick because Stinger's a long-time supporter.
Stinger, one of the originals. Waited on QB, had Lance and Ryan. Yeah. That didn't pay off too well. So you must have traded for Dak if you got Prescott.
So Stinger's got Lamb, Waddle, Najee, Ayuk, Evans, Pacheco. I do like Goddard. It's okay. It's okay.
I mean, Pacheco, well, here's the thing. I would have taken Cam Akers or Dalvin Cook or Dameon Pierce instead of Pacheco at RB2. So don't love the Pacheco pick. I think you're fine value-wise everywhere else. Lamb is a good pick. Waddle, I think, is a good pick. Najee, I think, is fine. I would have taken Kenneth Walker, but I think that's not a bad pick. Ayuk is fine there. Evans, good value. It's the Pacheco pick. Yeah. And then I think you want to probably, instead of the old guys with Zeke and Mostert, I think you probably need some more upside.
Yeah. Agree.
But it's solid. Still solid for the most part. All right, guys. That'll do it for tonight's mock. You want to get in because you didn't get to tonight. Hit notifications. Keep them on. Go live multiple times per week. And, of course, you're not in the Discord. Join the Discord. It's free. It's simple. Link is in the description. Talk football. You get news and updates, and you can ask all these questions and more anytime you want. All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one.